Rohit from Dolphyn, and I'm going to show you the table component. The table is a really easy way for you to quickly do some of your EDA work and also be a little bit more organized about it. So let's get started. So first we're going to drop in a table, and let's pull in this pit stops data set that we have. So there's a pretty interesting race from a couple of weeks ago at the French Grand Prix where it was super competitive between Red Bull and Mercedes. So I thought it might be fun to see how the two teams perform in and out of the pits over the years. So first off, there's a lot of columns in this data set, and we're not going to need all of them. So let's go ahead and start hiding a couple of them. Easy enough by just going to the columns menu and toggling off the ones we don't need. So next, let's go ahead and look at the pit stop duration for both teams. So as we can see, this has been parsed as a string. So first, let's go ahead and cast it to a number. Immediately, the column stats update, and sort of we can get a sense of what's going on. Let's also go ahead and throw a heat map on here. So it might be a little bit easier for us to tell how the number is moving across each row. So as we flip through, we can see that there's sort of a couple of rows here that have some NaN values. So let's go ahead and filter those out. We can do that from here or from the column menu. So let's say pit stop duration. It's not an A. Nice. And it cleans up those rows for us. Great. Next, let's go ahead and let's convert this outlap column to something that's a bit easier for us to read on the eyes. So let's change it to seconds. We just renamed the column, and let's go ahead and actually apply a transform. So there's a number of transforms available here out of the box to actually build your data frame string or programming string. But for this one, we just need a simple divide by 1,000. We should be good. Awesome. Cool. And as stated, let's actually see how each team has performed on their pit stops and their outlaps by race over the years. So for this, we're going to want to turn to views. And views are a way for you to sort of see the data frame in multiple different ways, and especially useful if you're sort of doing an exploration and you want to hold on to it and start something from scratch. You just save it as a view and start over with the root data frame. So let's actually throw a group view on here, and we'll say outlaps by constructor. Nice. And okay, and let's go ahead and say grab the constructor name as the group, and we'll say the average pit stop duration. Nice. And let's also see the average outlap in seconds. Okay. And this doesn't quite make sense because sort of each circuit is slightly different, and sort of the teams may have been improving year over year. So let's also go ahead and augment this grouping with the race as well as the year. Great. And as a last step, let's throw a couple of quick sorts on here. So let's sort this by year. And let's also sort this by the race name as well, so we can see the two teams side by side. Nice. And let's quickly filter out some of the earlier years since the competition, this competition really has mainly been from 2018 onwards. Oops, greater than equal to. Nice. All right, and now we can, as you can see, with just a couple of clicks, we've cleaned up this data frame a bit, and we can actually see how the two teams have performed, average pit stop time by race over the last few years. We can see that side by side. And let's say we're happy with this, we can actually go ahead and save this as a data frame, and we can continue on with our experiment. And importantly, all of this is running within a Python environment, so all the operations have been logged as Python operations that can be completely pipelinable. Let's just flip back to original data frame, and I'm going to keep going exploring this. I'd love for you to bring your CSVs and your data sets to Dolphyn and try this for yourself. You can feel free to sign up at dolphyn.io/signup to get going, and we'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks.